السلام عليكم. أنا أنس من المغرب من مدينة تازة ودابا راني كنشرب اتاي وغادي نهضر لكم واحد شوية على الدارجة ديال المغرب.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम, मेरा नाम समिया खालिक है और मैं कराची पाकिस्तान से हूँ।
Assalamualaikum，我叫张熙然，我来自中国，我现在正在喝这个摩洛哥的茶。
Барня Салим, есімім Дамиля болады, мен Қазақстаннан, осы қазақ тілінде видео түсіріп, қазір неше түрлі тілдермен еститін боламыз.
Hi for everybody, my name is Michael Oyinleyo, I'm in Nigeria. Right now I speak Pidgin, but I was Yoruba boy where I be, and Leo Wekabo Suretoa.
So the language I just spoke right now is like Moroccan Darija, which is a version of Arabic. Okay, so in Morocco we have many languages. So we have like people speaking Arabic mostly, and Moroccan version of Arabic, and then we have people speaking Amazigh, okay, which is a big part of Moroccan identity. And then you can also find people speaking French or a little bit of Spanish in the north. Okay, so all those languages you can find them. But usually people in their families, they speak either Arabic, Moroccan Arabic, or they speak Amazigh. And since 2011, those are the only two official languages of Morocco. Okay, so before it was only Arabic, but since 2011 they added Amazigh. And Amazigh, for those who don't know, is like a local language to North Africa. It's not a derivative of Arabic. It's totally different. It has different roots. It's not like very similar. But now the two languages are kind of mixing together, and they produce Moroccan dialect. That's why like, many Arabs, they don't understand Moroccans when they speak, because they have a huge influence from Amazigh and maybe French also.
And they say you talk too fast.
I talk too fast?
No, I mean other Arabs told me Moroccans.
Yeah, they say that, and like, some Moroccans they say that about me also. An accelerated version of.
Maybe in Arabic is fast. I think English is slower. Maybe when we're speaking our native language, you're often faster.
But yeah, maybe I'm slower in English because
Spanish is very fast for me sometimes.
Yeah, it can be. Yeah. Okay.
Especially from those that are from Ecuador.
Oh yeah, they speak very fast.
It can be. It can sometimes some language they can sound. You can have the impression that they are very fast, but once you get used to it, it kind of balances somehow.
Slows down.
Yeah, maybe. So what about?
So my language, Urdu, consists of 4 languages: Arabic, Turkish, Persian, which is spoken in Iran, and Hindi, the Indian language. So it's a new language. It's not a very old language. But in Pakistan, we speak like 50 to 60 languages. But depends which area you're from. Like the northern area speaks Punjabi, and the southern region speaks Sindhi, and the southwest speaks Balochi, and the northwest speaks Pashto. So these are like 4 major regional languages that we have, and then we have Urdu, which is spoken in the whole country, which I speak because my city majorly speaks Urdu.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So which city are you from?
I'm from Karachi, so
Karachi,
which is south. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Okay. So the language that I was just spoke was Mandarin Chinese, which is the only nationwide official language in China. But there are a lot of languages in China. As you can see, there are like 1.4 billion people there, and depending where you are, you can have different languages. I mean, we have a lot of local languages, for example, Cantonese, I mean, a lot of Chinese languages, and also Tibetan, like in Tibet Autonomous Region, Uyghur in Uyghur Autonomous Region, Mongolian in Inner Mongolia, and what else? I mean, we have a lot. At least we have 56 ethnicities, and kind of we have, for most of them, we have a language, and a lot of Chinese. So for me, I speak Mandarin as my native language, and my family moved to Canton when I was 11, so I speak Cantonese.
Oh, okay.
Not in a very decent way, but I speak it. People understand me, but they will feel like I'm from a very different place, from some rural area with a very weird accent.
I see. Interesting.
Okay. But like in Kazakhstan, it's mainly like, I think it's also connected with the culture. There's the official languages are Kazakh and Russian, and there are not like many dialects of that. There are dialect words, but like if you speak Kazakh, Kazakh is same everywhere. It's like more standardized, same as Chinese, right? But there are a lot of many, like it's multi-ethnic country, so there are more than 110 nationalities in Kazakhstan. That's why it's more international than you think. It is shown everywhere in the culture, in the cuisine, in the language. So most people are bilingual. The younger generation are trilingual because I mean some of them or most of them also speak English as a third language. So I think it's not like we have 50, 70 versions of Kazakh. It's only one.
Okay, so even though there are multiple ethnicities, there is one. Like they can all speak Kazakh.
They all speak Kazakh or Russian or both.
I see.
In most cases, both.
And the official language is?
Both, Kazakh and Russian.
Both of them are official?
Both are some state level languages.
Nigeria has 2 official languages, English and French.
French is also official?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
So
know
we
that.
learn it in school, but nobody really
gives a shit.
nobody really cares.
I like that.
Yeah, like I studied it in school. I actually wanted to. I thought I was going to do my bachelor's in French, so I did it until I had to do there's one called WAEC, which is the West African Examination Council. It's like a standardized high school living exam. So I wrote French in there because I wanted to use it to get admission into, I don't know, in France or somewhere.
French is very popular in West Africa, but
so they learn it, but nobody really cares after that. So you can hardly find someone who is really speaking French. So the 2 main official languages, English and French. But because Nigeria is super, how will I put it? We have lots of ethnic groups. So we have more than 250 confirmed languages.
250 confirmed?
More than.
Confirmed.
Yeah, confirmed. So it can be more. It's actually way more. But there are 3 main languages that like define 3 main ethnic groups, which is Yoruba, where I'm from. Yeah, then there's the Igbo people who are from like the eastern part of the country, and then there are the Hausas, which is more or less like the people from the north.
I see.
Right. So these are the 3 main bracket large languages, but under them there are tons of other languages.
Yeah, it's not small.
Yeah,
Interesting.
So it's difficult when you ask me to like speak a native Nigerian language that represents everybody, which is why I spoke Pidgin English, which is like a derivative of English, but if you're not Nigerian or if you don't understand Pidgin, you will just make out some words like book, cup, and then you will not understand what I'm saying.
Interesting.
So but that's more widespread nowadays. And of course my native language, which is Yoruba. So.
So now we know that like some of those countries are either very large, huge, or very populous. Have huge populations. So this question that is coming next would be very, very difficult to answer. So if you had to summarize your country in one word, what would you pick? What word would you say? One word to summarize Nigeria, for example. What would you say?
Resourceful.
Resourceful.
Yeah. So anywhere you find Nigerians, they are like making things work. Let me say. So they can find anything from scratch and try to build their life. Anywhere you find them.
Awesome.
And that's why you find them everywhere.
We have a word for it, and it's a very not formal word. What he just said, like we say it like it's like jugar. It's like if you give something to someone and they make use of it.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay.
Cool.
What about you?
I think, the first one that pops up is nomads.
What?
Nomads.
Nomads.
Because like
Nomads?
yeah, this is like it encompasses the culture mostly. And the history. Because due to history and like we have been moving always. So I think nomads should be the word. Even now.
I didn't expect these two.
I was like,
Interesting.
Did you have a different word in mind? No.
I didn't know. I was thinking it's like very difficult. What would they come up with? That's interesting. Okay. It's tougher for you.
It's just really hard to just summarize China in a word. Can I use China for it?
Very creative. Very creative.
Yeah, but if I have to describe it, I would put ancient. Yeah, because I think China is a place where a lot of things have happened in the past, and whatever we're doing today is either a reflection of the history or it's because we don't want the history to happen again. We want to get rid of the history. So whatever we're trying to do has something to do with our history. And since there have been thousands of years of civilization there, it's sometimes a little bit messy. Sometimes this kind of like long-term history can bring you, for example, tourism. You can have a lot of things to do, but sometimes it can also be a burden. It's just
difficult to manage.
Yeah, difficult to manage and
I think
a lot of things.
this is one of the things that I really loved about China when I read about it. It's like handing over the history from one generation to the other. They took it so seriously, like copying the text, maintaining the language, the artifacts. Like there are specific people they call scholars who, like, they were, how would I put it? So they're like distinguished. I don't know. You can confirm that. They're like hierarchy people there. Like if you're a scholar in the palace or you're a scholar somewhere, you're working with the king, so you get to study all this text, and it's very prestigious, and they hand it down from generation to
They
generation.
value the culture.
It's sort of ancient, kind of like.
Okay, so it's interesting.
A lot of literatures actually pass on through this kind of procedure, so that's why we have like tests from thousands of years ago, which was a huge burden for students to learn Chinese. I mean, another thing is we have to learn the Asian Chinese. It's mandatory. I mean, it's like we have to read the articles from.
So the language is something really important.
Yeah, I mean, especially the literature or the ancient one that people do not speak like it anymore. Like a few thousand years ago, but we still need to learn it.
Okay.
It's like reading Shakespeare stuff.
Chinese experience.
It's much harder than Yeah.
I would say diverse because we took culture from like everywhere. I mean, even if you see the language, we took languages and made up our own language. We had a history from Mughals to British Empire taking over and getting separated to India and Pakistan, and we still have influence from Afghanistan, from Iran, from China, from India. Like our neighbors like have a very huge impact, and people still think that we're part of Middle East, even though we're So yeah, I mean, I've been called every single country when I say like yes, my nationality except Pakistan. So and we don't think of it as a bad way. We really appreciate it because there are a lot of immigrants from Iran, Afghanistan, India, every part. Like even my family, when we were separated to India and Pakistan, my dad's family moved from India. That's why we are called Muhajir. We have and we made like the whole Karachi city. It's made up of Muhajirs, people who migrated, and we started the language Urdu. So that's why it's the official language, because we're the ones who were the pioneers of making
I didn't know that part of.
So so for us, like I think it's so diverse. Like even though I've been living in Karachi for the longest period of my life, I have met every different nationality, to Chinese, to Africans, to Middle Eastern people. Like for me, it was like, I mean, they usually use the word melting pot for the US, like, but my city is kind of like that. And even if you come to just my city, you'll meet every person from every city from the country. So just come to my city, you'll be like, oh, I went to Pakistan.
Nice. Morocco, I would say, it's also tough, I think, to pick a word, especially when it's about your own country. I would say, I think, hospitable. Morocco.
I would say so.
Good.
I would also
When you're hosting. Definitely. Anytime. So I think, for us, it's really something very, very important. I think this is something we share a lot with the Arab and Muslim countries in general, but it's also something that is in the Amazigh culture, which is local to Morocco. And the way people are hospitable in Morocco is going to be very different from hospitality in the Middle East or in any other Arab country. And it also has like maybe some African influences. Okay, but hospitality is like, I think that's the best word I can pick to represent Morocco. Well, I hope people they agree with me. Anyways, if they don't, they can.
You've been to Morocco.
Just our opinion, just to know.
Of course.
It's just our personal take. We're not general like.
There are always exceptions, but in general, yeah. So to summarize, so you have said resourceful, nomads, ancient, diverse, and hospitable. Okay, so like 5 very interesting words. Okay, I like it.